What up? This Rapids, and so I'm back with the complete details about what happened with Lil Durk and how he might be involved in this whole thing. So they're saying that when the feds swooped down on the 5 OTF members, that this was about the Quando Rondo incident where his cousin got killed out in LA. And so they're all being charged with conspiracy to commit murder for hire. They're saying Durk was basically paying them to do this because of the credit cards being used. So look, I got all the details for you, so check this out. This was all, they're saying, in retaliation of the King Von incident when Quando Rondo and Little Tim were out there. So to me, I think they should have been trying to slide on Little Tim, if anything, because, well, whatever. Let's get to more details. So the federal prosecutors in California announced the grand jury indictment Thursday. So they indicted 5 OTF members: Flocka, Didi, Vonnie, Brown Eyes, and Boogie. And so it looks like they're saying that Vonnie was the one that was the closest to OTF and was the one that was paying all the credit card bills that they're linking OTF to. So they're saying that OTF gang members set up a bounty and used a credit card that was associated with the label to book plane tickets to travel from Chicago to California in order to hunt down Quando Rondo after learning about his whereabouts. So they learned that Quando Rondo was in LA. So they're saying that somehow they knew that, and they specifically booked plane tickets to meet up with him down there. They're saying, well, the feds are saying that Grant, who I said was Vonnie, flew himself on a private jet from Miami to Cali to oversee the operation. So they're saying Grant, I guess, what's his name, Vonnie? I never heard of this dude, but yeah, so he took a private flight. So it sounds like he had a lot of clout with OTF. This dude, Vonnie, must have been, someone in the background of OTF that had a high position, and he secured hotel rooms and other necessary tools to carry out the hit. So he must have got word that Quando was going to be in LA and flew himself out there to check it out. And when he saw that he was really out there, he took measures to make sure they had everything in place. And then the feds are claiming that Grant helped get the cars, ski masks, firearms, and everything like that to carry out the plan. So they rented out a BMW and Infiniti sedans, and they were fitted with fake license plates the group used, allegedly, they're saying. So they had the cars, fake license plates, masks, pipes, and all that ready to go. So this is what they're saying Grant did when he took that private flight out there. And so they got a lot of information. Somebody must be talking, because now prosecutors believe that Quando Rondo was the intended target of this situation and was sitting in the vehicle at the time of the incident. But the bullets ended up taking out Quando's cousin instead. So they didn't even get their intended target. And so then the indictment goes on to allege that basically they flew out the other hitters from Chicago, and they used the OTF credit card to take care of that. And they're saying the purpose of that trip was definitely to take care of Quando Rondo. And once the hitters got there from Chicago, they're saying that Grant, who was Vonnie, I guess, allegedly booked, got the hitters into a hotel room and provided them with the firearms for the hit. So he took care of all that. See, these are all the questions that I was having in my first post. So everything's being answered now. We got all these details in the indictment. And so it goes on to explain that Grant took those 2 cars he rented, and they used those cars to follow Rondo and his 24-year-old cousin. So they got there. They found the location of the members, Quando and them, and they started following them. Cause like I said, they're saying Grant was there ahead of time to make sure that he knew their whereabouts. He might have used maybe he even had like some type of air tag or something, or I don't know. But anyways, once Quando and his cousin stopped at the gas station, they're saying that they drove to a nearby alley, and a third unidentified man carried out the shooting. So they saw them at the gas station. They pulled up to an alley close to that gas station, and then someone hopped out and took care of that situation for them and carried out the hit. So we all know the details of that situation, where Rondo was not injured in that situation, but they're saying basically his cousin was wounded fatally during that shooting. And after the shooting, though, they're saying they went to a nearby eatery, so a nearby restaurant, to discuss payment. So with all these details, somebody's obviously talking. Because how you get all these details? So they're saying they went to the restaurant and discussed payment of, for taking care of that. And so that same day, they're saying the credit card was used again to purchase plane tickets to fly Wilson, Jones, and Lindsay and Houston back to Chicago. So the prosecutor said that on the same day as the shooting, an unnamed co-conspirator used an OTF associated credit card to purchase plane tickets for the hitters. So they got everything they need to take care of this. And also they're saying that 3 of the hitters that was arrested in Chicago waived their right to hearing, and so they're going to go straight to L.A. Probably, I guess they're saying U.S. custody, because this is a U.S. case. So this is a Fed case, not a state case, from what I understand. And so this is it for Durk. Yo, they got a lot of information. It looks like somebody's talking, because how you get all this information? This is the whole indictment that they got. So that's why they waited so long, because this happened back in 2022. So they waited I think it was August 22. So they waited 2 years. They waited more than 2 years to arrest them, and they were collecting all this evidence. And somehow somebody was talking. I'm hearing somebody might have even had a wire. That's what I'm hearing, is that somebody actually was, brought up on this and probably decided to cooperate to take Durk down. So, and then the part where they're talking about discussing payment in a restaurant, how you get all that information if somebody ain't talking. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is definitely, it looks like they got somebody explaining everything and all the details to the feds, and they're taking care of the situation. With all these details, it's not looking good for Durk. I mean, the only thing I'm noticing out of this whole thing, though, is this Grant dude, that he seems like the main guy, the main co-conspirator of this whole thing. He orchestrated the whole thing from the indictment, according to the indictment. So, he's the one that took the private jet first before he flew the hitters out. He was out there scoping out the scene. So maybe this could all fall on to Grant, who was Vonnie, I guess, because Durk might not have nothing to do with that. Maybe Grant was orchestrating all this on his own, acting alone. So just because he had access to Durk's credit cards and OTF credit cards, don't mean that Durk was involved. But the thing is, when it gets the situation gets complicated because those credit cards, that's what ties it to Durk. Because when it comes to business expenses and stuff like that, you got to have like a legitimate reason to be using those credit cards. You can't just be using credit cards for purposes like doing hits and stuff. You can't use business OTF credit cards for stuff like this. It has to be business expenses. So for Durk's credit cards, which is OTF, well, the thing is, Grant might have been in charge of the financing. Grant might have acted alone. You know what I'm saying? How are they tying this to Durk? That's the thing. So that's the only way Durk's going to get out of this, if Grant comes clean, maybe Grant will come clean and say, yeah, he did it all on his own. Durk ain't had nothing to do with this. He had a high-ranking position in OTF, and maybe he acted alone. Maybe that's how high up it goes. But they always want to get the one at the top. It seems like, especially when it comes to rap, they like to get the one who's in charge of the label. And it sounds like how with Young Thug, they saying Young Thug had cars that was being used, rented out for HITZ. And that's why they're trying to get Thug, is because they're saying he was tied to the renting out cars and stuff that was used in the situation, in the incident. And that's how Thug's getting tied up. So that's the type of stuff they use. So you got to be careful about who you have running your company. If you're a street label, you got to make sure, you should probably have official people running your company, not street people who are going to pull stuff like this and get you jammed up and stuff. If you have really nothing to do with it, then this ain't cool. Like, he should come clean. If Grant did this all on his own, he should come clean. Because I just read y'all the indictment. That's a full indictment. And that's all the details that already leaked. And this just happened. So make sure you like this video, because, you know what I'm saying, I'm getting you all the facts, all the information quickly. So make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe. Let's get over 100 likes. Let's get over 100 likes, y'all. Make sure you follow Rap HITZ on all social media. I'm out.